My big brother has locked me in a closet off the library. Actually, the closet is a long hallway in which we placed some books upon Kmart bought shelves, but I prefer to refer to it as the library. Later in life, after seeing Madeline Kahn in Blue the movie, I would come to call it style. You will like rock music, he declares. More of a commander than a Van Halen-loving hypnotist. And he plops down his enormous silver ghetto blaster, we used to call it. Gargantuan radio cassette contraptions with huge speakers on either end that can literally be seen vibrating when the music is turned up loudly enough, which it frequently is. You will like heavy metal music, and you will not leave this closet until you do. And he turns up the bass on his enormous shiny bit of silver technology, leaving his noisy RTA contraption just outside the confines of my prison, and he locks me in, knowing full well that Mom is not at home and Dad probably never will be again. I sit in that closet for what seems like hours, and I hear many things. It's a sweet gesture my brother is making, I realize. He is concerned that his little brother is growing up all wrong, with an attraction to things that stray from the norm. And it is important to him that I learn to try to fit in with mass culture. He's looking out for me, which is something few people have done ever. And I recognize the irony in that some people can only appreciate gestures such as these once they've separated them by 10 or 15 years and several thousand miles. But I recognize here and now what is it's kindness, disguised as meanness. And annoying as it is, and loud as it is, it's also flattering. Something about a bit after a red car and gunshots. I make my escape when he foolishly turns his back to smoke a cigarette and make a phone call to one of his bugs. I dash through the secret annex of our chateau, around the servant stairs, and down through to the kitchens where my imaginary maid, Annabelle, prepares the evening steak. I bolt for the driveway where my brother soon finds me amusing myself, sitting atop my skateboard and rolling down the steep slope of our drive, the one that leads to the estate at the top of the hill. I do not stand on my skateboard, but rather sit, knees at my chin, as I roll down the driveway and across the street below, which is actually a moat with alligators and piranhas, and into the grassy median, which acts as my brake, sending me lunging forward and grass-staining my mother-selected wardrobe, usually consisting of Izod shirts and shorts of mute colors, long white tube socks, the kinds with the bands of color at the top, reach almost to each knee. And I do not mind getting dirty. And it does not occur to me that things will change, and one day I will. One day I will come to loathe dirt beneath my fingernails or hair that is blown askew with the wands of the wind. When we think that nature, or whatever the passage of time is all well and good. Until one day we look at our watch and we can't remember what we were before we learned the rules. Although my big brother has indeed brought his enormous battery-powered contraption out to the drive with him, he's lost all interest in forcing me to come around to his liking. For this, I'm very grateful. He plays an awful cassette until it runs out. There's something about a substitute teacher and her tight red miniskirt and the misuse of a slide rule. And then it's just the two of us. And the sound of our wheels pounding the snow as we roll down the driveway and into the grass. First me, and then me. I still don't have much of a taste for heavy metal music, it's true. But then it's part of me. Somehow, isn't it? So it couldn't be all that. My brother doesn't have much of a taste for Barbra Streisand records either. But we both continue to work. Dear Carol Burnett. Thank you for the autographed photo and the very nice note. I am pleased to inform you that over the past 6 months I have learned how to type, entirely as a result of writing you letters. I'm really grateful that I know how to type now. I like the feel of the keys. Yesterday, I printed out all of the letters that I've sent to you ever, and it turned out to be well over 200 pages. Single-spaced. I have read your autobiography one more time, 5 times now, which is kind of ironic, don't you think? Ha ha ha. I think my letters to you might make for an interesting book, if I could find a suitable publisher. Do you know anyone? We could call it Letters to Carol, perhaps, and you could write the introduction. I was pleased to celebrate your birthday last April 26th with big cake and sparklers, which I lit out on the patio as I sang happy birthday to you. Do you know that your birthday is just 2 days after Barbra Streisand's? Do you know Barbra Streisand? Because if I come to Hollywood, which I'm planning to, hint, hint, perhaps you could introduce us at some show or party or... My mean stepfather asked me to say the prayer at dinner last night. The evening prayers usually consist of silly rhymes that don't really mean anything, really. There's something ridiculous about eat, drink, in Jesus' name. But I said a prayer for you. God bless Carol Burnett, I said. Right out loud. I hope you like the flowers that I sent and that they arrived on time. It's your birthday. You only turned the age that you are. Once in a lifetime. I enjoyed the show last night on Superstation TBS. You know they do back-to-back episodes, right? I particularly enjoyed the segments with Charo. I'd like it, perhaps you could have Charo on as a guest for free. Also, I would like to be on your show. Please write back and let me know when this would be possible. I'll be happy to audition, but I assure you I'm quite good and very funny. I could come out there, or if you happen to find yourself in Indiana sometime in the near future, perhaps you could come see me play the Cowardly Lion at the Indiana Little Theater. Until then, thank you for making the world a better place, particularly between 6 and 7 p.m. on dinners. Thank you. Your friend.